Can you hear me?
I got you.
How you
Hey,
doing, man?
Dennis. I'm doing good. Dennis is in here. What's up, Dennis?
Dennis Sylvan.
There he goes.
Dennis Sylvan is in here. I thought he fell off the planet. What happened?
Oh, hello, 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 hello.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hi.
How was Jamaica?
Very warm, like Florida. Now I'm in Maryland. It's 40 degrees and I'm cold.
That's funny.
But I'm glad to be back.
Nice. Very cool. So what's
Hi,
going on
Joe. Hi,
today?
Dennis.
Hello.
You got any deals going on? What's going on with you?
For me,
Yeah.
no deals going on. Trying to catch up. I'm trying to go through the emails and all the other stuff. Trying
All
to
right.
catch up and trying to do some Zooms and stuff like that, but no deals.
You weren't on the call last week because you were in Jamaica.
Yes, I told Joe that I was going to be, and I heard you all say hello to me. I just didn't get the hello.
But I last week I showed everybody the contract that the attorney that I hired to buy the coin operated laundry sent me.
Okay, you mean the contract that you had to hire a lawyer to look at?
No, no, no. The contract to hire the lawyer was 6 pages.
Okay.
None of it talked about what he was going to do for me other than provide legal services. The
Okay.
other 6 pages were how he was guaranteed to get paid and what happens if he doesn't get paid.
Lawyers, that's lawyers for you.
I know it was crazy.
Give you a
But
contract and then
so anyway, he sent me over a term sheet of documents that he wanted the seller to provide. And of course, I'm like, aren't these due diligence documents? He's like, well, if you just ask for them, it'll make it easier. I'm like, okay. So anyway, I sent him to the seller. Seller never got it back to me. But so I waited a week. And then so last Friday, I asked the attorney for the actual asset purchase agreement for the coin operated laundry. And he said he would get it to me. Well, I didn't get it on Monday night. So on Tuesday morning last week, I asked for the contract and no response. And then on Wednesday, see how I keep getting shorter and shorter time periods? I sent him another email that said, third request, please provide the asset purchase agreement. So he sends it to me and says that he sends it to me at 1:00 and says he can only talk between 1 and 3 because he's got other meetings later on that day. I'm like, okay. And then, I mean, this thing is like, it's like 9 pages long, maybe 10 pages long.
wow.
So I read through it and I knew this was going to happen. All he did was copied and pasted a generic contract for an asset purchase agreement because it had like 15 different spots. He didn't have the address of my own company.
Wow.
He didn't have the address of the sellers LLC. I mean, it's just
And what did he
I knew this
did,
was coming, but they're all the same. You would think you're going to pay somebody $2,500 for a contract. You think they would, have all this shit together. So
right.
anyway, I called them. I read through it as much as I could, and then I realized why I'm not a lawyer. But then I went through the highlights, and I called them up, and we talked through it all, and
Right.
then I realized he never put in the due diligence requirements.
Wow.
I know. So I'm
And
like,
that's the
you
important
realize
part.
that doesn't have any all the things you said you wanted from the seller prior to drafting the agreement. You didn't even put in here. Oh, that's in the due diligence section. I'm like, yeah, there is no due diligence section in this contract. Oh,
Cut,
my mistake. I mean,
cut
So
and paste.
yeah, I sent it back. The next day he sends it to me. It was 98% done, but I was able to fill in the rest. I jetted it off on Saturday to the seller, and then I confirmed this morning he actually got it and he's reading it.
Okay.
So But
So
anyway,
you did the lawyer's job for him, right?
I don't want to say I did the lawyer's job for him, but let's just say this ain't Suits. Like, it ain't the lawyers you see on TV.
Yep. And that suits.
You hire,
Okay, well, at least
on TV, you hire a lawyer and they handle everything and it's over in 45 minutes. But in real life, these guys are about as sloppy as they come.
yeah, but at least you got it to the seller, so
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
wait to see what they do now.
And the thing about it is, I told them up front, I said, I've bought apartment buildings, I've bought countless homes, complex transactions. I've never done a coin operated laundry, so I'm on the steep end of the learning curve here. Oh, I'll take care of you. He didn't. But it's only with my past experience whether I'm able to go through this contract. No, yet. This goes here, that goes there, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's over, and the seller hasn't objected to it yet.
All right, so keep our fingers crossed and see what happens then.
Yeah, I mean, if he signs it, then I'm calling Joe Figueroa's guy, Glenn, who said he's got 2 people that are looking to pay all cash. And then I've got one guy from the laundry resource group, that I was on their podcast a couple of weeks ago. Right. And I did to them what we do in Astro is I put in my name and my phone number, my, what I'm looking to do. And then I put in a post in the comments, everybody, hey, let's squat up, you put in your contact information. And then the guy who runs that podcast, he's like, because there's only like 30 people there, but like not half, maybe like 8 of them put in their name and their phone number and their email. I called them all. And one guy, a couple of guys are looking for stuff kind of in the Northeast. And then one guy actually said he'd be looking at something in Florida.
Cool.
So yeah, I think I told you that, but yeah, man, once I get that under contract, I've got a 45-day due diligence period, which means I've got 45 days to get it under contract with somebody else.
All right, Joe, come on, Joe, you hear him? After he does that, he's calling you first. And then all the other people that he has on his list.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Joe introduced me to Greg, so
okay.
Sounds good. Anything I do with Greg, I'm going to give Joe a taste.
All right, sounds good.
You got anything going on?
Me?
Yeah.
When I came back, I had this lady call me. She is doing a multi-family deal in Atlanta. Ooh. But it's an apartment. He said it says stabilized cash flow deal. That's what it's called.
I like stabilized cash flow deals.
Pardon me?
I like stabilized cash.
Oh, you do?
Okay. Very much so.
It's a $21 million deal.
Wow.
They are down to the last 1.9 million, and they're looking for me to help them find some investors at minimum of $50K each.
Oh, so she's looking to syndicate this.
Right, yes. And she said it's long term is 5 years, but it starts payout after the first year. And then at the end of the 5 years, you get whatever the percentage. I don't know all of it, the details, but she's willing to.
No seller financing? No seller financing? No seller financing?
No. She's just looking for those people to come in for the long term, yeah. Aww. So I've been looking, but I can't find anybody that wants to do that long term. I found about 5 different people that has a 50 grand. But they don't want to do long term. They want to do short term. I mean, they've listened to the pitch and everything, but they said no long term. So I'm trying.
Has this woman ever bought a apartment building before?
They have done. They're substitute. They've done a lot of buy and hold. But I think this is their first multi building. I think it's 80 units and it's 100% occupied and it's 100% waiting list.
Oh,
and it's next to University of Georgia in Athens. So it's in the right place.
They want 21 million for this property?
Yeah. It's in a high area right there.
And how many units?
I want to say it's 108 units, yeah. But it's right close to Georgia University, yeah.
$194,000 a unit.
Mm-hmm. And the rents are below market, so they're bringing it up. They're bringing it up as they get the thing going. Yeah.
So the value play is below market.
Right. So that's when when they do the payouts going to be really good starting after the first year. So I'm trying to find them at least one where I can get somebody in there for 5 years for 50 grand, because I'm trying to structure the payment is going to go on my side. I have a good structure going, but I just need to find a PM first that's going to hold it long term for at least 3 years. So if you know of anybody,
she's looking for a $50,000 EMD.
No, they're not looking for EMD. They're looking for investors to come in to invest in it and help them hold it for the next 5 years. And
the
they get
whole
paid.
21 million?
No, they already got that part.
Oh, they already got the $21 million
right. Right. So they're just looking for the $2 million part.
Oh, they're looking for 2 million. What's the 2 million for? Closing or something?
I think to bring them over the top, I guess. There's 21 million, they already have 19, and they're looking for the 2 million. And they want to close this out at the end of November. And I do ask them, and they said,
if she's trying to raise $2 million, $50,000 at a time, she needs 40 investors.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, she needs that. I don't know how many she has right now.
Right. Wow.
But she thinks she can get it by the end of November.
And there's no seller financing.
Nope.
Hey,
yeah.
There's lots of different ways to skin cats. That ain't my way.
Yeah. But anybody I get, I pass it on to them, and they do a Zoom and tell them what the whole thing is, and then for questions they do a one-on-one call for the questions, because
Gotcha.
the syndication, they don't want to put anything out there because of SEC and all that rules and all that good stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you start talking about raising $2 million, $50,000 at a time, and you get into 40 people, yeah, the SEC is definitely going to be involved.
So they do a 15-minute Zoom and then do a one-on-one with whoever to make sure they're serious before they even go into all the money stuff, because they don't want to get in trouble with SEC.
Yeah. But if you're going to go after institutional level stuff, you're going to be playing with big players.
Yeah, that's why they call us, so I said, let me look and see what I have. And I did put them in touch with 5 people, and they already talked to them, but
they don't
nobody says yes yet. So I think I was looking at the wrong place, because now I realize that all those people were short-term. I need to be looking someplace else that has long-term, people that want to park their money in for a 5-year or for tax purposes or something like that, or a 401k plan that they want to take the money out to put it there for better results, stuff like that.
You know what a self-directed IRA is?
I've heard that being thrown around a lot, but I don't know the details per se. I do have
self-directed IRA. All right, so traditional IRAs,
which is
like
what
a
I
Roth
have.
IRA, is where you give the money to some IRA provider, and they take your money and they invest it for you.
Right.
A self-directed IRA is an IRA where you have the ability to invest the money.
Right. So now, those are the people I'm looking for.
Any transactions done inside of a self-directed IRA are done tax-free.
Right.
So, if you had $50,000 in a self-directed IRA, and you were going to leave it there for the next 10 or 15 years, and then you invested in this apartment building, in 5 years, you get the money back. And let's say, your return on the 50 grand is like 75,000.
Mm-hmm.
You pay no tax on that until you take the money out,
until you take the money out. Yeah.
Years old. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So that's
what I'm saying is maybe try to go after some people with self-directed IRAs.
Yeah, but I don't have a list created. I don't even know where to start to find those kind of people for self-directed IRA.
There's this website called Google. I don't know if you ever tried it.
Sometimes Google doesn't work for me.
Can I jump in?
You sure can.
So I may have someone for a syndication. Just give me a second. I got to find their number.
Okay.
But I got a guy named Donnell for self-directed IRA, self-directed Roth, self-directed.
What? Donnell?
Yeah. His name is Darnell. I'll put the information in the chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I knew there was a reason why we're here tonight.
This is what we do, people. We come together, we provide each other resources.
And I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't sure what it was or what, but you said put it out there and see what falls.
It's like I say every week. Bring your problems, challenges, deals, whatever, throw it out there, and then somebody's, me or somebody other than me.
Somebody else, yeah. Right.
Just
yeah. Yep. But that was it for me. I'm anxious to talk to Joe later on to find out, because I think I was on a Zoom with him, but I got on the Zoom too late. So I don't know what Joe did, but I heard Joe's name was going on a lot in that chat. And I think I missed the first 15, 20 minutes of it. So maybe Joe can tell us what it is when we get around to Joe, if he wants to.
No, so, I'm good with that. Just it was unexpected. No, like I can't say that. It's expected. Expect everything, right, Mike?
Yes, expect everything.
Expect
everything, yeah. Because when I got on there, the whatever was said already was said, but I do know it was something about an extended contract or something like that.
Yeah, I had to extend an EMD for a client, and it was a bit challenging. We had to. It's the same process. You just duplicate it, But the client was, and it's understood. It's an EMD. If you pull the EMD, everybody starts to think, hey, there's no deal. So we had to clear that up first. And so they were stuck on that versus finishing the process. We had to start the process all over again. And so when we started the process all over again, it scared, the borrower. And so from there on, we had to talk him in off the ledge there. So that's what that came about that. But it was quite surprising. I showed up late because my email for that Zoom was it wasn't clear what time this thing was going to start.
Yeah, I'm in the east section. I'm in the east. So Arizona time is always 3 hours behind. But now because we went back one hour, I'm showing up to Zooms one hour late.
Yeah.
And I just realized why. Yeah. Because it's now 2 hours, not 3. So basically you were saying that you had an EMD and the EMD time expired or almost expired. So you guys have to extend it. When you extend it, you have to start the process all over again, like a new EMD. Exactly. And you had to talk to the buyer because the buyer thought it was going to fall through because the money wasn't at escrow or something like that.
Right. And so once everybody was on the same page, then we had to explain that part first. Once we explained that, and everything was, he understood everything. So we had to go back and have the same first conversation all over again with this person and say, nothing's changed except for this, and then at that point there, but it was a learning lesson for everybody. So because of that, that's why she mentioned my name.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I understand it now. Yeah, it's just starting out a contract because the EMD time expires, so starting another one, and you just go through the process again. And if you have to add some more dollars to it or some more fees to it, just explain all that up front and make sure everybody's okay with it before you move forward. And he really needed the funds, so he okayed with it, and he just go move forward. So that's
because he has a buyer on his end, but there's always a catch, right, Mike?
Always again. Always.
And when does it show up, Mike?
Last minute.
On the very last day, of the inspection period. Like, oh, hey, by the way, the electrician didn't do his job. So therefore, we can't clear whatever codes or whatever it is that they were trying to do it didn't get done on that end, and this person was over there freaking out about the EMD. He is freaking out about the deal, and he's trying to just calm the seller is up there in age, but age doesn't matter. When a person has something set in their mind, that's just it. I don't care if you're 57 or 87. You know, I want this done. I want this done now. I can't understand why I didn't get done. And then when they went to explain to him, you know, the contractor couldn't get his job done correctly, and so it set everything back. But we couldn't find this out 2 weeks ago. No, we had to find out on the day. You know,
crazy world,
crazy world. And he said, "Oh, he and this guy's really good. His due diligence, he's on point, every little thing, and he checked every box." Except, you know, the contractor just kept telling him, "Hey, thumbs up, everything's good, everything's good."
Yeah. So luckily, did he have boots on the ground to make sure it wasn't good, or he just double checking and find out that it's not good?
He went through and we gave him enough notification to where he's like, okay, you know, I'm going to jump out there and go get this done and look at it myself. And he sent someone out there, and sure enough, you know, it didn't clear. And so he had to put that fire out with the contractor or whatever. And then so, you know, and then of course, everything dominoes from there, you know, so he's already in panic mode.
Yeah, the thing is though, but you guys started the process doing the due diligence time, so it didn't go over. So
yeah,
you could remedy the situation before the time passed, which is good.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that doesn't think this is a people business, they have no idea what this business is about.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why
it might be about buildings, and it might be about, you know, real estate, but at the end of the day, it's still people buying stuff from people.
Yep.
It's a people business. Yeah.
When you get into more complex deals like the ones that we do, there's lots of moving parts, and all it takes is for one part to not work.
Yeah, an electrician didn't show up, but it got checked off as if he did.
As they did. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But hey, it's not like contractors don't do that crap all the time.
Exactly. So he saw the check mark, and he went and he did the check mark on his list. Yep. And he kept moving forward. Everything else was getting done except for that one thing that got left behind.
Right.
So, but yeah, so it was a learning experience for everybody. We had to go back, and all the steps were there. Everything was in place, you know, and what made it, it just got really messy on our end because that guy was already, the borrower is already, he was really worried about it all falling apart. And then here we come knocking and saying, hey, this is due. So what are we going to do? So we came up with solutions. The solution was good. Everybody was on the same page. And we just went in, did what we had to do, and started all over again. And we're here now.
And you're going to close it.
He is. He's got it all. He's got it all set up. Everything was already in place.
How much is the deal?
The EMD is 25,000.
The EMD is 25 grand.
Mm-hmm.
What's your end?
Our end altogether was 18 altogether.
So you're going to get a check for 18 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Sure beats working for a living.
Yeah. So, everything's
and I say that tongue in cheek because what he's going through right now, if you don't think that's work.
Yeah, it's work. It's work. Yeah. It's nerve-wracking work.
Let's just say it sure beats digging ditches. How about that?
Yes,
it sure does. Yeah.
Man, but sometimes I'm looking forward to that shovel.
Yeah. And when you were working through your problems, I guarantee you had a shovel in your hand.
I had one. I got plan B right here. I got plan B.
Yeah, plan B. Yeah, you always have to have plan B. You always have to have plan B.
When do you suppose that's going to close?
We are looking. Well, I was looking at this week, but he pushed it until Monday.
Got it. Cool.
You know,
so after Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving. You know how people are right now. Everybody, Friday, 5 p.m. hit, and people lost their mind. You can't get a hold of title. You can't get a hold of real estate agents. You can't get a hold of anyone.
And this week is a short week for them too. Yeah.
And forget Friday. Yeah, everybody's off on Friday.
Everybody's on vacation already. Everybody hit vacation mode on Friday.
Anybody that's at work is going to be done at noon on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, probably.
By the way, I mean, I had a corporate job. I know how this works.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're all staying on top of it. We're in constant communication, which is, and like Mike just said, we are in a people business. My lesson from one of my past deals is you need to make friends. Because if you make a friend, friends answer the phone when you call them.
Yeah, you need to make friends, and you need to stay in touch with them. You have to keep. Exactly. I can't just make friends and put them on a spreadsheet and don't keep in touch with them. Yeah,
exactly.
By the way, that goes for your buyers list as well.
Yeah.
Just call them up. Hey, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Hope your family's doing fine. I don't have anything for you. Just want to say hello.
I recently did that with a buyer, and he goes, "Hey, you're still here? Are you still around?" I'm like, yeah. What's up? He goes, "Man, I've been waiting for you."
I actually had to have some work done in my house, and the maintenance guy that came over to fix my oven, we just got shooting the breeze. Now here's a guy, guaranteed barely got out of high school. He's a maintenance guy in rental properties. Me, I don't judge a book by a cover. I just get talking to him. And we get talking about real estate, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my dad talks about this all the time. It's market. We don't know what's holding it up, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Is this the only investor that you work for?" "Oh no, I work for a couple other investors." I said, "Really? You know anyone that are looking to buy real estate?" "Oh yeah, I got this guy, David, whatever his name is. I can't read the whole thing. But he's like, oh yeah, he owns 40 properties here in Lakeland. He's looking to buy more." I said, "You wouldn't happen to have his cell phone number, would you?" He's like, "Yeah, here you go." So moral of the story is, whoever you're talking to knows somebody that you can put on a list. So I'm going to find a property here in Lakeland. Then I'm going to call this guy up and be like, "Hey, I know your maintenance guy. He gave me your number. I'm a wholesaler. I got this deal, 60% of ARV. You interested?"
That's the way to do it.
You guys want to know what I was doing this morning?
Looking for properties.
Making your calls.
So all right. So the way that I drive for dollars is I went to the city of Lakeland, Florida, and I went to their sanitation department and looked up when garbage is picked up, and they do it by Lakeland's pretty good sized city, but they do the garbage pickup in 4 zones. So today was like the northeast side. Tomorrow will be my side, which is the southeast side. Then Wednesday will be the west side, and then go around. Obviously Thursday they'll probably just do it Friday this week. But what I do is I learned this from somebody else. I go out and drive for dollars on garbage day.
Okay.
Guess who doesn't put out garbage cans? Vacant houses.
Guess
what is the easiest way to find a junker house? It's the house that doesn't have the garbage can out.
Yeah.
So in about an hour and a half, I put 11 properties on the list.
Wow.
And I found a vacant 160 unit apartment building. Well, I shouldn't say building. It's probably like 40 buildings, but it was vacant. I'm like, the hell's going on here? Wow. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. But
okay.
And then what I do is, not only am I driving around making a list, which I then will, of course, find out who the owners are and skip trace them, but then I also take this yellow letter and stick it to the door. And it just says, "My name is Mike. Would you consider a free, no risk, no obligation, all cash offer on your house? Please call me." And then I've got a tracking number on there. So then when they call this number, it comes through to my main number that pops up and it'll say yellow letter, which I know is a junker.
Okay. Live and learn. You live and learn.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing this morning because they were here on Friday, but I've got a cash buyer who owns 40 rental properties and he's looking to buy more. So I'm going to go find him one.
Find him one. Yeah.
Yeah.
On or off market?
Off.
Off market.
I am so absolutely 100% sick of realtors. I mean, I know everybody here loves Jamil, blah, 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 and he teaches work with realtors. I worked for a week on a property up in Indianapolis for Michelle Fall and contacted 15 or 20 realtors that represented fully rehabbed houses. Not a single one of them got back to me on this deal that Michelle had that I was, doing some dispo for her. Day after she gave up the contract, under contract. Wow. I think all I did was advertise it. That's all.
Advertise, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them are like that.
I'm going to say not some. I'm going to say the vast majority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had an off-market deal that you went out and you contacted real estate agents. Never heard back.
No, it was an on-market deal. It was a listed deal that she had. Property probably worth $150. She had it under contract for $80, and then she retraded it down to $70. So we were marketing it at $80, and that was 60% of ARV, and none of the realtors even answered me.
And the day after she gave it up, it was on a contract. People are like that, man.
Yeah. Now that being said, I don't know if I told you guys, but I've been working on this hurricane deal down in Venice. Seller, it's a subject to deal. I'm gonna go ahead and take property all fixed up. It's hurricane, so it had 4 feet of water in it. All fixed up, probably worth $350, $354. That's what the comps show. It's got $147,000 first on it at 6%. Talked them into taking over their mortgage. They're cool with it. And then they wanted me to give them $100,000 cash. I talked them down to 70. And the insurance company has already written a $60,000 rehab check to the mortgage company. And the seller is going to assign that $60,000 rehab budget because obviously the insurance company sends it to the mortgage company. Whoever rehabs the house, then they're gonna give out that money in draws. They're gonna, the contractor's got to prove the work's been done. You submit it to the mortgage company, then they send the draw.
Right.
So the deal that I put together, sub 2 deal, $70,000 cash to the at $147,000 sub, take over the payments. The mortgage is 6%. It's not great, but it's not 9.
Right.
$70,000 cash to the seller, take over the payments, and then the rehab budget's already set. So the buyers only got to come to the table with $70,000. They don't have to go get a mortgage, and they just got to do the work. They don't have to go out and raise the money for doing the rehab.
Yeah, because the money's already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I had a woman call me up today, and she is hot for this property. This is a done deal. While we're on the Zoom call, you guys were talking, I was texting with her, but yeah, we set up an inspection for next Monday. But and she's like, yeah, I said, she's going on about how she wants this deal. And I'm like, no problem. Don't worry about it. And I said, are you cool with the $5,000 non-refundable EMD? Yep. I said, are you a cash buyer? She said, well, we might do hard money. We might do cash. But I said, are you a cash buyer? Do you have the $70,000? And she said, yeah. And she said, do you mind if we go get a hard money loan? I said, well, it's the difference between a 7-day close and a 21-day close.
Yeah.
Because a hard money lender is going to take 14 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I'm like, hey, I don't know you. This is just how I vet my my buyers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Can't be too careful.
By the way, she's going to pay me $100,000 for the deal.
$100,000 for what?
She's going to come up with $100,000. I'm going to give 70 of that to the seller.
You get your cut.
$30,000 assignment fee, which I will not do an assignment fee. I'll do a double close.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it. What I've learned, I learned this from my hedge fund, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you about another deal that they're going to buy. But yeah, I've had a good day.
I would say
so many shitty days and so many shitty weeks and so many shitty months. Finally had a good day.
Good day, yeah.
But yeah, so that deal. Now I'm expecting somebody to beat me down somewhere. So of that 30, I'm planning on giving up 5.
Right.
Like Joe said, somebody will come up with something at the last minute, like, oh, I need a $5,000 whatever retrade, So I'm planning on giving up 5. And then I got this other deal that I've been working on for several months. Elderly gentleman, wife was sick, just wants to get rid of the house, move back up north, the whole thing. It was brought to me by Kathleen, the realtor in Orlando. She's not representing it. There are no realtors involved, but when I close on this, I'm going to send her like $1,000 just because she kicked it.
Yeah, because she brought it to you.
Yeah. We worked it out. That one's a $20,000 assignment fee, and I sent it to the hedge fund before I put it under contract, and they said they would take it at $233, so they offered the guy $213. He said, "Can you come up on the money?" I went to $218, and he said, "Okay, done deal."
Good day for you. Good week.
I know. 25 here, another 15 there.
So that hedge fund, how long is their due diligence process?
21 days.
21 days?
21 days to close.
Okay.
Their due diligence is like 24 hours.
Right.
They will send me their assignment paperwork and their title company. And they're like, you can use our title company, we'll pay the closing costs. We use your title company, you pay the closing costs. I'm like, I'm fine with your title company.
Yeah, of course. They're gonna pay. I'm using yours any day.
Considering you own 30,000 more houses than I do, I'm going with you. But anyway, yeah. So I'm sure they'll try to beat me down a little bit. So don't be surprised if I only get 10 out of that deal. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's one of them things where it came across my desk and I sent it off to them. They came back with a number, and I just subtracted 20 from that number.
So this seller, you put in to put it under contract. What is your due diligence period or what is your inspection period? How long is your inspection period?
Okay. It used to be 10 business days, which would basically give me 21 days. But now I was actually watching a guy who does a lot of TikTok videos out of Sarasota. And you don't even put in a time frame anymore. Inspection period's up till day of closing.
Right. I've been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah. I have had so many, like Michelle Fall up in Indianapolis. The reason she called me and wanted me to help her dispose, she only had 9 days.
Right. Yeah.
That is a self-imposed deadline.
Yeah. I know exactly. And one of the things and doing what we do, Carol can, she'll back me up on this. We're working with either a wholesaler who's new, has done one deal, right? Or none. But majority's none. And they go to this YouTube university, okay? And they put it all together and they they grind it out. They learn, and some of them lose money and some of them get a little discouraged, but they're in there, they're taking their lumps.
What they don't do is they don't look at when was that YouTube posted.
Exactly.
If that YouTube was posted anytime in the last 5 years, and maybe not the last 12 months, but prior to the last 12 months, you're talking about 5 years of a hot market where you only needed 9 days.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. And I tell them, why did you put this in? Like, you get to learn these things, right? So the guy sends me, I just had one guy, 2 deals he sent me, right? He wanted some gap funding for 2 of his deals.
Yeah.
Right. And the first one fell through. Okay. Because they put on a certain time limit on his. The second one right now, he was really irritated because I'm trying to explain to him, hey, this is what I do, this is where, and he's like, but I need this and I need that. And Carol knows because she's been doing this for a little bit, and Mike, you see it all the time. Someone will bring you a lead and you don't even need to add to your calculator or anything. You just look at the numbers and it's
not good. Yeah. Right.
It's not good. You need, and in a type of deal like this, you need equity now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you don't have any equity, one of the things that I've been learning a lot here lately, and it applies to Mike, back me up on this. It applies to every deal, right? You need liquidity.
Right.
Liquidity, you need equity, or you need other assets.
Right.
Yeah.
Cross collateralization. If you don't have either one, two, or three of those, then you're going to have a hard time finding somebody to say, hey, yeah, I'll go ahead and
I'll lend you the money. Yeah.
I'll lend you the money.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I just read an article. I don't remember where it was, but it was about an hour and a half ago. All indicators lead to recession. All economic indicators right now lead to recession.
Yeah.
So you got to have equity in a deal, because the market, and you guys know, because I talk about it every Monday night, I don't care who gets elected. I have an idea who's going to get elected, but God knows. But the next person to sit in the Oval Office is going to get blamed for the recession.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Nobody can figure out what's holding this economy up. Nobody.
When it drops, it's going to drop big time.
And when it drops, it's going to drop. And, if you're buying it, like there's a couple of guys, a father-son team on YouTube all the time. And I get their videos all the time where they're like 83% of ARV minus repairs. I'm like, 83%? Ain't nobody buying at 83%.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, they're not. And you're starting to see this. And so I look at the deal. I don't even need to do the numbers. I just do the math. Look at it's on the paper. He wrote it down.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, one guy, I have somebody, he says, you just send me everything you get, and guess what? He comes back, he goes, I don't know about this one.
All right. So I'm Michelle, who's been on, she sent me that lead. I was Dispo'in this property in Indianapolis. Called 15 to 20 realtors. They have no idea what ARV their customers are buying at. No idea. Until I send them the deal. Then they know exactly what the customer's buying it.
Hey, Dennis, what's your question?
Why not just tell me up front and I won't send you something you're not going to buy?
Right.
Save us all a lot of time. Just tell me what your formula is. 70% minus repairs. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Because you're starting to see everybody. I just saw one of the gurus go in there and say, hey, I made an offer at half of what it's listed, and you're going to get all the normal responses. And Mike, you saw this the last 3 weeks in your business. Beep, realtor hangs up on you, ghost you. But if you have one that comes back to you and says, hey, well, let's they're not going to go for that price, but let's talk about this. Well, okay, well, there you go. There's someone who's motivated.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm getting more calling, to sellers. One of the things I also did is, remember when I told you guys with Kathleen Busquet, my realtor in Orlando, where I asked her if she would set me up with emails for expired listings?
Right.
Well, now that I've been collecting those for a month or so, I'm now going through and I'm sending letters to the expired listings. You guys want to know what the letter says?
Sure.
My name is Mike. Would you consider a free, no risk, no obligation, all cash offer on your house at, and then I actually put the address in, please call me. And then I have a phone number with a tracking number on. It's the same. It's the same conversation. With, doesn't matter what list it is, but this is going to the seller, and I know there's no realtor because it's an expired listing.
Yeah.
Now, if the seller's got any motivation whatsoever, they know a realtor is not going to sell it.
Yeah.
Because they've tried For 6 months, they've tried.
Yep.
Now they might be motivated for an all cash offer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the all cash offer is to hit that greed gland to get them to call me. Then, of course, you know, I'm going down through my lead sheet, and in the lower right-hand corner, mortgage information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a process, but, you know, constantly keeping that marketing going out there.
Hey, Dennis,
it work
you got
eventually.
a question, Dennis?
What?
Dennis has a question.
Oh, hey, Dennis, what's up, brother?
Hey.
Hey.
Have ARVs or not ARVs? Has percentages changed since I last talked to you?
Yes, they're lower.
Lower.
Really?
Offer 50% or less.
50% or less in Phoenix? How about Atlanta?
Anywhere. I don't care where.
Oh, okay.
I don't care where it is. By the way, this woman that contacted me for the property down in Venice, she's in Phoenix.
Moving down south.
Yeah. So, you know, you're talking about Florida and you're talking about Arizona. I mean, you know, it's two hot markets. But when you find motivation, deals are there.
You were saying something about the economy going
south.
I was talking to somebody that does stocks and options. He teaches it. He said, you keep pushing money into the economy. Eventually, it'll start to rupture. And what you keep seeing is they keep shutting down the market every month and a half.
Yeah.
That's not good.
You cannot print $3 trillion, give it away to people, and expect there not to be inflation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was listening to the radio. I forgot what station I was listening to, but the cost of a Thanksgiving meal is almost double what it was last year. Double.
Oh, yeah.
Food is doubled. Come on. And why is that? It's not because there's less turkeys. It's not because there's less stuffing. It's not because there's less cranberries. It's because the value of our money has gone down. Because they printed more of it. When you print more, what is in circulation, the value goes down. So, again, this card game is going to come to an end. I don't know when. I'm not one of the masters of the universe, but when it does, real estate is going to crater. Everybody in the world knows it. And that's why you got to be making offers at 50%. And the thing, 50% or less. And the thing about it is the only people going to respond are the ones that are motivated.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ones that are not motivated are not going to respond, and you don't want
those. Yeah, I saw that where in 1997, which is what 25 years ago, interest rates were at 7 or 8%.
That's normal.
Yeah, and they're like, well, wait until the percentages drop. They didn't drop until 2016, 2017.
That's right.
You're waiting 20 something years, you know, for that to happen. Well, it's too late then. That, you know, so the best time to buy a house is when?
Two best times. Yesterday and today.
And today.
Best time to buy yesterday and today.
Exactly. You know, and I think that, I don't know. Let's but it's still tough because, you know, you can't afford that now, but you're not going to be able to afford it later either.
Exactly. And does anybody believe our government is going to stop printing money anytime soon? What's the one asset that increases in value when the government prints money? Real estate. Real estate increases in value as inflation increases.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but yes.
Yeah. And the good news is I also read another article yesterday, or maybe it was even this morning. People are moving out of these crazy blue states and they're moving to Florida, Texas, and Arizona. And Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving out of the crazy states, and they're moving. I mean, I can tell you, they're builders. They're even in this market, they're still building houses like crazy in Florida.
Yeah. I have something that I'm working on right there in the Florida Keys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there's two ladies. They are business. Well, Farrah brought me that lead, and I reached out to those people. She mentioned it last week, and so I reached out to them, and we started working on something. And they're business partners. They created a partnership, right? But both ladies also have their own businesses that they work on, their own side projects, other than just that one project they're working on together.
Right.
And so I reached out to both, and you don't call twice, you didn't call once. Yep. Right. So I called them, I texted both of them, and then one of them finally got a hold of the other, brought her into the conversation. We all got in a group meeting, and we've got a deal that we're working on at the moment. But then that evening, after we had this long discussion and all of that, she goes to look at her phone, and she saw that she missed a text, and she goes, I think this is the same guy I spoke to earlier. So your business model, would you work on, Mike, and what she's working on is so crazy. What you're bringing towards you, this lady, yeah, she has a deal in Florida, like Mike.
Yep.
But she has secondary markets that she likes to work on, other than those big, states that have all that coming in. So she's in Tennessee. She's got 3 deals in Tennessee that she's working on at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know somebody. Why does this sound familiar?
Let me just give you a disclaimer. Everything I know, I learned from somebody else. I am the most unoriginal person in the world. I learned a long time ago when I was in college and I had an Amway business. I was listening to somebody who was in the military, and he was giving a motivational speech. And he said, in the military, if you absolutely 100% have to go through a minefield, do you want to go through first or second?
That's crazy.
And everybody in the crowd's kind of like, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you go ahead and be first, get yourself blowed up.
No, but she shows the things that she's working on is the same things that you have an interest in. So I'll see what she's gonna send me. She's got those, so everything is.
So you're talking about businesses of cash flow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Businesses that cash flow. Yes. Yeah. She's looking at assisted living.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody know why assisted living is going to be big for the next 20 years?
Because the baby boomers are dying.
I wouldn't go as far to say dying.
Oh, sorry.
But they're going to need
assistance.
Baby boomers are moving. The largest generation in population-wise in the history of America is moving into assisted living and then into nursing homes.
I shouldn't have said it that way. Sorry.
Yeah, dead customers.
Sorry. Brain mouth, brain mouth, brain mouth.
Yeah. They're not. Yeah. No, but yeah, the largest population density in the history of the country is moving into assisted living, and then from assisted living, they go into a nursing homes. How do I know that? That's what my grandmother did. And my mother, my own mother, I'm 57. My mother is now in her early 80s. So she'll be looking at assisted living, and then she'll be looking at a nursing home. That's just the cycle of life.
Yeah, it's a cycle of life. And so that's what she's been working on.
But why is it advantageous? Because the biggest population in the history of America is now moving into that.
Yeah. And so she's got a 16 unit somewhere in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what I can do. But I know a buyer somewhere, right?
Farrah likes to work on those.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Farrah likes to work on those assisted living. She gets it.
Okay, good. Hey, I see we have a new guest. Is this Rose?
Not a new guest. That's Rose. Canadian Rose.
Oh, yeah. Canada Rose. Hey, Rose.
What's up, Rose?
Hi, Mike. My internet is now working correctly, so like I'm really cutting off a lot. So
Okay.
I didn't want to take too much. Yeah. Can you hear me correctly though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack.
Okay, he went to hide. Let me just go hide in the bathroom or something.
By the way, while you're doing that, I got your emails earlier about that duplex or whatever up in what is it, Quebec we're working on?
No, Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah.
And then that coin operated laundry guy who wants $950,000 all cash. Everybody wants all cash.
Yeah, well, he said so the guy, the realtor called me back and he said the landlord, like the owner is willing to talk to us. So I said I have to schedule something with you. So I was gonna call you. And I just sent you something else.
Yay. But yeah, that coin operated laundry, I mean, he's just got to get used to the idea that, when you sell a business, you're going to participate financially for minimum 5 years.
Yeah, but he said like he was willing to do like 3-4 year pushing it, but not 5.
There's no way.
We'll see. It's all negotiation.
But then again, he asked for proof of funds.
Fine.
I know.
Fine.
I know. Yeah.
Proof of funds is just a number on a piece of paper. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, the lady from wait, I don't know the name. I just know the she sent me, okay, hi Rose, I'm following up. So it's for 3100 Botan
all right, because I'm going to post this on
bad.
YouTube, don't give addresses.
Oh, okay. We have something in Dallas in Texas.
Texas?
And the green one.
Okay.
It's like all green. I sent you the information, I think 2 weeks ago or last week.
Is it coin operated laundry?
No, it's a multifamily. It's like a 50 something units.
Okay.
So she was asking me if we have any updates for her in terms of that. I said I don't have anything right now. And
Okay.
also someone from Memphis. I remember I told you like the Memphis one she was pushing because it's been on the market for such a long time that she wanted to have more, like she wanted to have a timeline on when we were doing it.
Okay.
Because the owner
I don't have that Dallas deal at my fingertips, so I will find out where I file it.
Okay. And because that one and this one, the realtor for the one in Dallas, she told me, she said that she's holding off on other people that she has because she wants to hear what she has from me first.
Okay.
And
let's talk
the
about
one in Memphis, she said that
I said the one in Dallas I'll call you tomorrow morning. But yeah, the one in Memphis.
Yeah, the one in Memphis, she wanted more information because they're looking to close before Christmas.
That ain't gonna happen.
Because it's been on.
That ain't gonna happen.
I know.
Due diligence alone is 45 days.
Yeah, I told her, I said like it might take a long time, but like at least you would have an offer to present.
Yeah, all right.
And also another thing, are we paying for the realtor fee or are the owner taking care of that?
Owner takes care of that.
Okay. So that's not something that can be added on top of.
Sure it can, but I'm not gonna. I don't like realtors.
Okay. That I wasn't sure, like other people say, oh, add tell them that you're gonna pay for your commission. So I just want
let me rephrase that. I'm thinking if it's an all cash deal, now I'm not going to pay for the realtor's commission. Now, if this seller gives us screaming seller financing, sure, I'm going to cover that.
Okay.
Remember, it's not like single family houses where it's cookie cutter. When you get into commercial, everything is negotiable. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's creative. And the thing is, when you're working in commercial, there are no protections. You better know what you get into commercial. You got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and you get burned, tough.
Yeah. So that,
like I said, everything's negotiable. So, if they gave it, I mean, if they gave me like 100% seller financing and, interest only for 5 years, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll pay the realtor commission. Sure.
Okay. So I'll keep that in mind, and like I'll just remember that, because in my head it was something completely different.
Remember, real estate is like a scale. All right.
Yeah.
Your price, my terms.
Yeah.
My terms, your price.
Yeah. Because right now I'm not making calls because I get so much call back from like the people that I called like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I'm kind of holding off on calls. I don't know if it's a good strategy because they're all calling me back, and I said to myself, maybe I gave too much of a push, and like I'm not like they're coming back to me, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, we're looking at one thing at a time.
The only thing, it doesn't matter when we're talking about commercial. The one thing you got to get 12-month trailing P&L. Everything we need to know about any commercial business is a 12-month trailing P&L. And when you get talking to when you get used to saying it, you just ask for a 12T. Any realtor that's done more than one deal knows exactly what a 12T is. It's the 12 months trailing P&L. And what it is it's the income and expenses over the last 12 months. That gives us a snapshot of what the business is, the health of the business.
Of course. But then after, I'm in my head, I think by the time you get to like that deal, I'm scared that like the 12 months would have been like not 12 months anymore, but like, no?
No, that's fine. If you get 12 months, that's all right. So I have been working on a deal with Farah where the realtor provided the 12T from 2022.
Okay.
This is November of 2023. Now that's too far out. All right. But if somebody sends me the last 12 months and it's up, their accounting is good up through September. Well, I understand. That means their accountant's still working on October. Well, this is November. I get that. So if they give me September to September, I can get a snapshot. And then, once we get it under contract, then you get the updated accounting. All right. But if somebody's trying to give you the accounting from 2 years ago, no, it's not real. And I was working on another deal, an Airbnb, where they tried to give us the profit, their numbers from almost 18 months ago. And they're like, well, how come you won't give us the last 12 months? Well, the owner's been sick and she hasn't been running it correctly. I'm not going to buy it on what it could be worth. I'm buying it on what's worth today.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody calls you back and like, hey, you're going to make an offer? Sure. I need the 12 trailing months P&L.
Okay. So I sent you some that like it's like really 12 months.
Yeah.
So then just like I guess like I can't. So just like I guess let me know. And let me know when I should start making calls again. Just because I don't want to get too backed up, and then
I know this sounds like a stupid question, but does Canada celebrate Thanksgiving?
Well, yes, but our Thanksgiving was like was back in May or something like that.
No, it was October 8th, October 10th.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And so the reason I say is, I mean, you can make phone calls to, like we were laughing about earlier, like Joe can't get a hold of title people because, they're all checked out. So I would say you can make calls tomorrow and maybe half of Wednesday. Take Thursday off because nobody in America is answering the phone.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody.
And
nobody.
then Black Friday, right?
This Friday is Black Friday. So that being said, it might be hit or miss. This week is kind of a wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, today, Monday, Tuesday, pretty straight, but Wednesday at noon, most people will have checked out. Thursday, everybody's checked out. And Friday, a lot of people are going to be taking that day off to make it a 4-day weekend.
Okay.
So, but Monday hit it hard again.
But anyways, Friday, I'm going to be in the States. I'm going to Target, but I'm going to be in the States.
She loves Target.
I really do. So that's it. Okay. So I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, Mike. I'll be listening in.
Okay. See ya. Okay. Good talking to you.
Okay. Bye. You too.
Did I see Ralph jump in there? Ralph Allison, you out there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've been busy with work.
Yeah?
Yeah. How y'all doing?
How'd everything work out with that property next door to you?
That gentleman never answered my messages.
That figures.
Yeah.
Well, what that tells you is there's no motivation there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So I said I'll give it maybe a couple months. Then I'll send him a message again. I'll give him a call and see if he's interested.
Cool. You got anything else going on up there in Nashville?
No, I got nothing else. I mean, I have the holidays coming up, so I'm gonna take because I'll drive around, grab some addresses of abandoned houses that I see.
Let me ask you a question. Were you on the call earlier when I was talking about my driving for dollars?
No.
All right. I'm gonna for Ralph, I'm gonna rehash it if you guys don't mind. All right. So, Ralph, what I want you to do is you're in Nashville, right?
Yes.
Go to Nashville Sanitation Department website and look up, like here in Lakeland, they actually have a map, but look up what days they collect garbage in a particular part of the city. And generally, a city like Nashville, they'll have it broke up into like 4 different sections. So on Monday, one section will get picked up. Tuesday, one section will get picked up. Wednesday, Thursday, and so on. So when you're driving neighborhoods, look for the houses that haven't put their garbage cans out.
Okay.
And then when you see one, I mean, that is like the best indicator of there's something wrong with the house. Because everybody puts their garbage out. And then when you see a house, and you'll know what a junker house looks like. What I do is I go up, not only do I write down the address so I can skip trace the owner and send them a letter, but then what I do is I have this pad in my truck. And I carry it in my clipboard here. And then what I do is on this letter, it says, "My name is Mike. Would you consider a free, no risk, no obligation, all cash offer on your house? Please call me." And then I put in a phone number that I track. And then what I do is I just peel this off the list. I walk over to the front door, slap it on the front door. And I will tell you that just a little hack that I also take a piece of Scotch tape and put it on the top, because a lot of times if it's there for a couple of days, the adhesive comes off and it falls down. Or take a push pin. Now, push pin's going to leave a mark on the door, so I use tape.
Got you.
Has anybody ever talked to you about reverse driving for dollars?
No.
That's not driving for dollars in reverse. What it is you're going up and you're putting sticky notes on doors.
Gotcha.
And if you want me to send you the exact language, just send me an email later and I'll just copy and paste that.
You got it.
And then what I do on that yellow pad is I write down all the addresses. I put 11 properties in Lakeland on my list this morning for like an hour and a half. I went out at like 8 o'clock and I was finished. I think I actually got on the road by like 8:30 and I was done by 10.
Nice. All right.
But yeah,
I'm sure I can find a lot of them. So
yeah. Now here's another hack. Go down to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you ever see the guys that are working on the side of the road have those yellow vests on so you don't drive over them?
Yeah.
Costs you about $10. Go buy one of those and put it on. So when you get out, when you get out of your vehicle and you're walking up to the door to put that sticky note on it, if you've got one of those vests on, people think you're from the city.
Ah.
Now that being said, what I will do, my process is I will take all these numbers and all these addresses, and I will actually try to find the owners. Now, if I can find the owners, I'm going to go back to every one of those houses, and I will knock on the doors of houses on either side. The neighbors on either side always know where the owner is. Always. They'll have their cell phone number.
Okay.
And Kathleen, my real estate agent that I love in Orlando, I told her that little trick, and she's like, wow, I never thought of that. And she had a house that was on her street that was a junker, and she couldn't get a hold of the owner. I said, yeah, go knock on the door on either side. And, she's a realtor, so she doesn't care. She walked up, knocked on the door. The guy on the right-hand side says, yeah, I got a spare key to the house. You want it? He said, well, yeah. She said, yeah, but let me get permission from the owner first. He goes, okay, that's great. So he ended up giving us the owner's cell phone number. We called him up. We said we want to make an offer on the property, but we wanted to go actually walk the property, and just do a quick inspection before we made an offer. And he said, yeah, the neighbor's got the key. The neighbor will give you the key. Neighbor gave us a key. Kathleen went in, did all the pictures.
Awesome. That was easy.
Yeah. But I do that in 2 steps. If you want, do it all at one time, but I always do it in 2 steps. But yeah, go up, stick a note on the door. Like this morning, I was, I'm taking down stuff and I'm taking pictures of the house, and I go up to stick the note on the door, and a guy comes to the door. I stick my hand out. I say, hey, my name is Mike. I'm a real estate investor. I was wondering if you'd be interested in an all cash offer on your property. He's like, oh, I'm not the owner. I rent here. I'm like, all right, great. So I handed him the note. And I said, hey, listen, we're investors and we're looking for rentals. So if you pass that note along to the seller, to the owner, and we buy it, you don't have to move. You can just stay here and rent. Now, why did I say that? To make sure he gives a note to the owner.
And that motivated him.
Yeah. Like, hey, listen, I'm looking to buy the house, but we could keep you on as a renter. Now, that being said, if the guy's been there for 4 or 5 years, he's never missed a payment. Yeah, I'm going to leave him in there.
Of course.
But yeah, if you're going to drive for dollars, that's how I do it, man. Garbage days.
You got it. I'm going to look on that up tonight. Yep.
That's a number one indicator of there's something wrong with the houses when they don't put the garbage out.
Thanks for that.
Yep. And then obviously, when they don't put the garbage out, that's the first indicator. Then you look, overgrown vegetation, bad roof, you got gutters hanging off it. You got a window shaker hanging out of a house that should have central air. You got busted windows, all the above. You know what you're looking for.
Yep. Okay. You got it. I'll have a list for you by Monday.
Yay. Love Nashville, man. Redneck Vegas.
You can say that again.
I had a great time when I was up there, man. Love Nashville.
It's a good place to have a good time.
Next time I'm there, maybe go see Taylor Swift.
I hope she's in town. If she's not with Kelsey.
Yeah, I was going to say she's probably in Kansas City tonight. Are they playing in Kansas City tonight, or are they playing in Philly?
Not playing at all.
It's Monday Night Football, baby.
Philly.
Oh, they are
Super Bowl rematch, baby.
Yeah, that's tonight, but I'm not sure where it is.
Kelsey v. Kelsey.
Yeah, I think it's in Philly, you guys.
Philly's at Kansas City.
All right, so yeah, Taylor's probably in KC tonight.
Yeah.
So hopefully that was helpful, my brother.
Oh no, it was pretty helpful. Appreciate it.
Cool.
I'll put it in action.
And then if you get something, send it to me and we'll work on it together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if we get
You'll be
another
the first one.
contract, we'll call up Joe and Carol and they'll work their magic.
That's what I like.
Yeah, hey, Rob, drop your contact information in the chat. And
Absolutely.
that way we can contact you. And when I get a text or a call from this number and I don't answer, I know who it is.
I like that.
Are you trying to say you screen your calls, Joe?
No, between, and Carol was the one, she mentioned it a little while ago. I jumped on a Zoom and I had my phone number on there, of course, right? And so my phone starts going off and I'm like,
yes. I knew that was gonna happen because everybody was asking for your number on there and you weren't responding.
And I was late too, like you. And then I'm like, I looked at my phone, I'm like, what is going on?
Right. And they were interested in whatever you were talking. So there was about 20 people that I knew you were going to get calls from. That's why I stayed away from you.
Yeah. I saw you say hi in the chat, but you couldn't engage your call because the chat was blowing up, my phone, and everybody was sending me friend requests on Facebook. And I'm like, what'd I miss?
I saw
what
that.
Am I missing?
A lot of people were in the chat
and I'm
looking for your number.
And I said, did I snooze or something? I was sneezed for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but if they look at your name tag, your number was right there, but they were still requesting in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah. Well, I hope you get some good leads out of all of those, though.
Yeah, I know.
You never know. Yeah,
you never know, and it's everything is everything's good. You just got to look. Every opportunity is good.
Yeah, on that Zoom, I put my information out there, and in about half an hour, I got an email from Alpha Funding saying somebody had applied for a bridge loan.
Oh,
from the information I put out there, and then I got about 8 or 9 people that reach out to me with their card on what I put on there. So yeah. So let's see what happened after that. But those are good contacts I got. Yeah.
Remember, folks, your network is your net worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
Dennis, you don't have to say you got a question. Just ask your question.
Well, I don't want to jump in on anybody. So I haven't been doing a lot of real estate in the last couple of weeks. I got burned by somebody scamming me for some freaking money. Try not to use cuss words. But anyway, last 2 agents I talked to, I've been doing my due diligence. You know how I do it. I try to run my numbers. And I asked them what the ARV on their property was, and they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, are you okay? So I told them, well, I'm going to send you a number just to see how it goes, because I'm not sure where you're at. I want to be transparent. But do you ever come across that kind of crap?
Me?
Anybody here? Yeah.
All the time.
What do you do? Just give them a number and just move on to the next?
Yeah. I come off with that too. I usually come with my own ARV and estimate, and we go from there. That's what I do.
When you provide your ARV, provide the addresses of the properties you used.
Okay.
Prove it. All you're doing is saying this is the ARV. This is what the house should sell at. I mean, it's not real hard. I mean, you go on to Zillow and just type in, the zip code you're looking at, and then the last filter, put in the keyword renovated. Sold, zip code, sold, renovated. And that'll pull up all the properties that have been renovated. You can see the pictures. Find the 3 comparables that are closest to your house. And then when you send over your number, just prove it to the realtor. Listen, these are the 3 properties I used. This is what it was bought at. This is what it sold at, all renovated. Look at the pictures. Here's my offer.
Yeah, I do that, but they're like, I try to be transparent and see where they're at. And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
No, you got to understand something. All right. Real estate agents go out and get a license. All right.
Yeah.
When they get their license, they have to, I don't know what it is in Arizona. In Florida, it's 3 years. You got to hang your license with a broker for 3 years. When they go work for that broker, the broker teaches them, get the listing, show up at closing, collect a check. That is all they teach them. Get the listing, show up at closing, collect the check. So you're like, hey, listen, I understand you do a lot of horses, but I got a zebra. And they're gonna be like, I don't do zebras. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're more into trying to sell somebody for emotional buying. I'm not going to buy out of emotion at all.
That's right. We are analytical buyers. So you can either toss in the towel or train the realtor.
Yeah. Yeah, I got kind of discouraged yesterday when I was like, man, what the hey?
Well, one of the things, if you want to get discouraged, is stop talking to realtors.
Yeah, I know. I got to start calling that was my next question. My next question is, I have Fidelity pre-foreclosure lists. Is it better to call them in the evening and on weekends versus the day?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why is because people have jobs.
Yep.
They may be losing their house, but that's only because they have a job that doesn't pay them enough money to keep the house.
Even the ones that are a 60-day, right? Wait until later.
Yeah.
Mostly all direct to sellers later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after what, like 4:00 regular time?
I would.
Regular business time. All right.
Make your phone calls from 4 to 8. I wouldn't go any later than 8.
4 to 7. All right.
Yeah.
In their time zone.
Correct. In their time zone.
So you want to hear a funny though? I'll give you one funny, then I'll stop talking.
Okay.
So I went to a investor meetup, right? And Chris Iman, the guy that I keep telling you about that's out there and does stuff in Phoenix. And he had a young man, probably a little younger than me, presenting wholesale and subject to. Did a good job, and I asked a lot of questions. You know how I do it. And there was 2 young ladies to my left. And I told them, it was a good job. I did an attaboy. I'm a hype man, I guess. And we were done. And this girl comes up, and she's in a slender dress, younger, and tries to push her hip like close to my leg. And she goes, I dispo houses. And I was like, okay. And then she goes, put my name in, Macy X, what did she say, plus, plus, plus. And I was like, I wanted to tell the guys, because I wish I could have just took a video of it, because like any dispo guys that I know, they just ask me, hey man, you got any houses? Not like this. It was so funny. You just had to be there, just like
hey man, everybody's got skills.
Yeah, I guess so.
And she has learned that's how she gets attention.
Yeah.
My question for you is, how many people were at this meeting?
It was a low one this time, probably at least 30, maybe 20 or 30.
All right. And how many people's contact information? Did you know everybody that was there?
No, I got about half of them.
And so you got about 10 contacts.
Yes.
Nice. That's a good night. Even if you got nothing going on, you made 10 contacts.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that one. That was funny.
Yeah, I haven't been to an investor meeting in a while.
Yeah, they were talking about 15,000 here as far as houses on the MLS or for sale right now. So it's kind of low. 15,000.
Yeah. I haven't updated the data yet this month. I need to get to that.
Oh.
Yeah, inventory is low because mortgage applications are a 30-year low.
Yep.
But all that's doing is just building all that pent up demand.
And you can also look up the stocks for investments too, for housing investments on I think it's the NASDAQ. I think it's the NASDAQ. So
You're talking about REITs?
Yeah, you're just looking at where it's going. That's all.
Well, like I said, I got that property down in Venice, and my hedge fund is they're still buying.
Yep.
And they opened up a couple other markets, so I think they're starting to realize, like, the fear of this market's going to collapse, and become Armageddon. They're kind of like, well, it's not collapsing, so let's just keep buying houses.
Yeah, I guess still make money. You still have to live.
Yeah.
You still need a place to live.
Yeah.
And then it's something that's going to be there. And it's funny you say that, Mike, because somebody that I recently contacted, they said we had to get out of our jobs. So they were both two people who worked at the same place, and both of them looked at each other and says, yeah, we're going to jump ship. And I'm like, well, where did y'all work? She goes, we work for a mortgage brokerage. Well, one of them, they and it's, so you have to think it's 50-50. One looked at the other one because she didn't know that one of them, they just said, you don't need to come back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they kept the other one, and the other one's like, well, I'm going with you.
Just like I said, man, real estate doesn't crash like the stock market does. Stock market, there's a panic, and because all you got to do is press a button and you're out, it drops like a stone, like in 48 hours. Real estate is like a balloon. It goes up, 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 and then when the market pops, it starts coming down, and it'll tick down 1% a month, every month for 5 years. It's a slow motion crash.
Yeah, and I had somebody, I was at a conference one time, and they were describing about how the stock market moves, right? In a good season.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it turn in 45 degrees.
Yeah.
It's going to just slowly just make those one degree changes, and you're going to wind up in a different place.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening here with in the real estate. You're starting to see a lot of realtors, like you said last week, they're not going to renew their licenses. In fact, a bunch of them have already gone on to do insurance and other things.
Yeah.
And then you're starting to see mortgage brokerage. They're already, going out and finding somewhere else to go because, and so you start seeing the little 1 degree changes because this is going in a different direction now.
It's just not enough volume for people to make a living.
Yeah.
Which is good for us because we're constantly adjusting our strategy. What am I going after? One of the things I did, like I said, is I went after expireds.
Yeah.
I sent out, I think, 15 just before this call. I went to the post office and dropped off 15 or 20 letters of expireds. How do I get expireds? My friend Kathleen, who's a real estate agent, went in and she gives me all the expireds for my county and all the other counties in Central Florida. I get an email. I got gazillions of them.
Whoa. Wait a minute. You said you get all the expired listings from a lady?
Yeah.
Wow, I want to get that. How do I get that here?
Call up a realtor, get them to like you, tell them that to send you an email notification for all the expireds in Maricopa County or in Pima County. There's only 2 counties that has any population in Arizona. Yeah. And then tell them, listen, if I close on a deal, I'll send you $1,000 marketing fee. You cannot call it a commission because you're not a licensed agent, but they can accept a marketing fee.
All right. Yeah, because I get them from Fidelity, expired in the 60 days and the pre-foreclosures and the
that's all good stuff too.
Cancellation, but I don't get that. That's a lot.
The thing about expireds is those sellers now know a realtor cannot sell their house. Yeah. So if there's any motivation whatsoever, the avenue that everybody thinks of, I'm just going to call a realtor. They can't. Those people know they can't do that. You know that going in. That's what I like about expireds.
Yeah, I got in my outreach for what I'm doing for Gator. You get it. You get them all. They just see investor, and they just send you a message. So this lady sent me a message. Hey, my house it just got off my listing just expired.
Yeah.
I still need to sell my house regardless if it was unlisted or not. She goes, so I'm going to go out and do it on my own.
And that being said, where are they going to go? They're going to go to Zillow.
I'm going to go to Zillow or anywhere else. She contacted me through a Facebook real estate group.
Just because I don't have enough time to do it, but Zillow for sale by owners, boom.
Yeah.
If they're doing it for sale by owner, they either hate realtors or they know the realtor can't sell their house. And you just go through the same thing. You want an all cash offer? Yeah. Make them a low ball offer. Make 100 low ball offers. 97 will say no, go screw yourself. 3 will make her rich.
Hey, I have a question for you, and I know that you're not going to like this question, but for the end buyer, on closing costs, isn't it like usually 5% and 10% for holding?
Closing costs generally are about 3%.
3%?
Yeah.
And holding is about the same?
Holding costs? You can't predict that. You don't know how long the end buyer is going to hold it. And by the way, why would you care as a wholesale?
Yeah, no.
Just do the general math and just I got a calculator I can send you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and it's already, everything's inside this spreadsheet. All you do is just plug in the numbers. I thought we did that. We haven't done that yet, right?
What's that?
With Dennis, I told him I was going to send him this calculator, and then we were going to go in there together and just plug in the numbers. And one of the things that's in there already is the holding cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so
but again, that calculator is for like if you're buying it yourself.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. So I don't know what their numbers is. This is just in general, just so you can try to get an idea, and then you just call that buyer, the end buyer, and says, "Hey, I think this matches with you. You know, with what you're looking for. What do you think about this property and at this number?"
Well, what I would encourage you to do is do it backwards. Call the buyer first.
Yeah.
Ask the buyer, what are your numbers? What do you mean, what are my numbers? Well, you know, what percentage of ARV are you buying it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, are you at, like everybody else, 70% minus repairs? Yeah. Okay. Well, now you know you got to get stuff at 65%. Boom, or lower.
Yeah. What are your numbers? I always ask them that. So I already know who I'm going to send it to.
Yeah.
You know, all I do is do my calculations and say, that's like right about there. You know, and then I'll ask them, hey, I got this right here. And shoot it over to them.
Like the property I was talking about down in Venice. Okay. Never, I mean, this woman found it on, you know, I think on a page when I posted it on Pace's group. And are you okay with a $5,000 non-refundable EMD? Yes. Are you a cash buyer? Yes. We use hard money, so it might take a little bit longer. Okay, fine. Why do you ask? Well, it's the difference between a 7-day close and a 21-day close. Okay, fine. That's cool. Just getting to know you. You know, and then the last thing is, you know, what are your numbers? What percentage of ARV are you buying at? She said, we just need a $60,000 profit. I like that answer.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer because now she's not limiting herself to low-end junkers and she's not limiting herself to, you know, high-end or middle-end. You just got to know that you run the numbers and there's a $50,000, $60,000 spread. I know that buyer's going to be interested in that property. And if there's a little bit more, she's going to be really interested in that property.
Plus your fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't give a shit about the fee as long as she's making $60K.
Right, exactly. But as long as you factor that in there, so you add your fee into that number.
Yeah.
And yeah, as long as it makes 60.
As long as there's 60 in it after, you know, where I'm at, as long as there's 60K in it for this buyer, boom, she's going to buy the deal. See how I did that reverse instead of going out and getting a property and then trying to find the buyers and then go find properties for the buyers. Like the guy, you know, that I was telling you about from Friday from my maintenance guy.
Yeah. He
told me about, you know, this guy owns 40 rental properties here in Lakeland and he wants to buy more. I now have a buyer. I'm going to go. I spent the morning going and find houses for him.
Yeah. Well, where did I recently heard it. The lady had $3 million. She was just walking around doing whatever, wherever she was in public, and she just happened to talk to this elderly woman. And the elderly woman, man, she was on it. She goes, "Hey, I got a 1031 for 3 million. I got to move it. Can you help?" And she goes, "I will start working on that right now." But just talking to like you just said, you just talked to that maintenance guy and you found a buyer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I would say, Dennis, is to prevent yourself from having frustration, go out and find buyers first.
Yeah, I know. I got that stupid calculator, and that's what I was doing. But I just know that when you talk to agents, they don't like to hear the word wholesale. They can't stand it. They turn you off. For me, they turn me off. They turn me off. I don't have 19 years in the business.
Well, don't tell them you're a wholesaler.
I don't. I say I'm a flipper. So that's why I ask to use that calculator, and I just give them a.
Why are you telling them that you're a flipper?
No, I just say I don't even say that either. I say I'm either going to seller finance it, flip it, or keep it. I have a lot of strategies to exit.
I would say I may rent it or I may turn it into an Airbnb. Yeah. Because realtors, those are two things realtors understand.
And
by the way, in my contract, there's a paragraph that says I can do 15 different things with it. But yeah, I mean, you got to understand this is a people business, and if you use fear words for the person you're talking to, their mind shuts off. A closed mind says no. So, hey, I'm just a guy. I'm just a boy looking to buy a house. I may rent it out. Like I may turn it into Airbnb. What do you think would be better?
Yeah, I can't play that George Michael song with these people. Sometimes they just don't like it. They just don't like that. They're just like, they're always on the hunt for. Are you a wholesaler? I'm like, no, I'm not wholesaling.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to get into seller finance, go take a course in CE. It'll make you some more.
There you go. There you go.
I talk to them, but they have that negative talk when they talk about wholesaling. I'm just like, that's why I just brush them off. I'm just like,
they have the negative talk about wholesaling because 99% of the people go out there, just like we were talking about earlier. They joined a group, they paid God knows how much money. They didn't get what they wanted. So they start watching videos on YouTube and they think that it works on YouTube, not realizing that the video that they're watching was posted 5 years ago when the market was completely different than it is today.
Yep.
I mean, how many gurus are going out there going, God, this is really freaking hard now. It was so easy 3 years ago, but now it's hard. There are none of those videos.
You know what I tell the gurus now?
Nice haircut?
No, I'll tell them, you know what? You want me to take your course? I'll take your course. You get me to a deal. We close it. You get 80, I get 20. How about that? And then they shut up. They shut up.
Why do they shut up? Because now they have to prove that they know what you're talking about.
Yep. They don't like that. Even our boy, same thing. It's right here. I can send it to you guys right here. I can share it right now.
Dennis, you're just being so negative.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. I haven't heard
what
that.
You're learning is you're learning to smell bullcrap.
Yep.
And the thing about it is, it's like any marketing you do, doesn't matter if it's real estate, doesn't matter if you're selling widgets, doesn't matter if you're on Amazon, marketing is boring. It's repetitive and it's boring. It's just like playing baseball or football or basketball. Kobe Bryant was one of the best basketball players ever other than Michael Jordan. And the thing about it is they practice the basics over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, Larry Bird would every day 300 3-pointers.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
Most boring thing in the world.
Oh, that's
but then when it comes to be showtime, he's like money.
That's why when I started with Astro and I had to learn how to comp, I comp from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m. All last December.
Good.
That's a lot of comping.
How many phone calls did you make to sellers?
Oh, I didn't know anything about that. I was on week 2.
Yeah.
I was
at the end of the day, like in any business, if you don't have leads, you don't have a business. So you got to be out there sticking notes on doors, sending letters, making phone calls.
Follow-ups.
Yeah.
Follow-ups.
Yeah.
Dennis, let's open up your CRM. Man, tell him, Mike, there's money in there right now.
Yep. Guaranteed. And the reason why no's turn into yeses because time and situations change.
Yep.
There's money in your CRM right now.
The contract that I got to send out tonight was a contact that I made a month and a half ago. They originally wanted 100 grand cash. I offered them 60. They said no. I'm like, okay. 3 days later, I got a text. We'll take 80. I waited another 2 weeks. Now I'm going to give them 70. So I let them marinate for a little while.
Yeah.
And by the way, you get all the crap. Oh, we've got 10 different people, they want to buy it, but we talked to you first. So we're loyal to you. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, that might have worked in a hot market, but it ain't working now. Now, with that strategy, you're going to lose a couple deals, sure. But it's all about follow-up. If they say no to your first offer and you're way far apart, let them marinate for a couple of weeks, then call them back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
someone was telling me to do a drip campaign between every 72 hours.
That's too much. That's too much follow-up. Then you seem like you're anxious.
Desperate. Okay.
Yeah. And if you call once every 2 weeks or every 2 weeks is good. Then you're like, hey, just checking in.
All right. That makes more sense.
And again, people that don't have motivation will be like, oh yeah, whatever, Dennis. People with motivation, that problem has not gone away. And time makes problems worse.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, the EMD that I'm working on right now, the borrower, she found a deal. She had a buyer. The seller didn't agree to the price. So she called me and said, hey, it didn't go through. 12 days later, she calls me back. She sends me a text. Hey, I'm going to need you. Is why? Because either she followed up or they followed up with her. But either way, now the motivation's there, Mike. It showed up.
Yeah.
Because she told me the last time, they told her exactly what you just said right now. We've got five other offers on this right now, and then of course they turned her down, and then they call her back or she called them back or whatever. Where did all the other 5 offers go?
They were never real.
So now the buyer wants to talk. The seller wants to talk now.
Yeah. And again, in a hot market, you got to be Johnny on the spot. Because the market has turned, now it's the guy who follows up. They're going to say no. And by the way, what's the rule? Always go for no. If they accept the first offer, you left money on the table.
Yep.
So expect to get a no. And then
I do.
And then let them marinate.
I do.
And if you're calling a motivated list, that problem is going to get worse before it gets better.
Hey, Mike, on that subject there, what do you think about Abilene as a secondary market? Or
Abilene, Texas? Yeah. Here, let me before I give you a generic answer, let me do this.
Okay, that's why I asked you, because I knew you were going to do this. Me and Carol, we know the tricks, right, Carol?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Hey, Carol. Carol, if you have give me or email me or text me regarding that syndication. I'm still waiting for this guy to call me back.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
Okay. Population Abilene, Texas, 125,070 people as of 2021. Any market with over 100,000 people is a good wholesaling market.
Perfect. Great. Yeah. So
I kind of knew that, but I want to know what the actual number was. But that's the rule. Any city with over, any city or town with over 100,000 people, that is a good wholesaling market. There's enough inventory, there's enough people with problems, and there's enough buyers.
And I looked in there for on Privy, and there are 54 investors that bought in the last 90 days.
There you go. Yeah. Any city with over 100,000 people, there's enough inventory, there's enough people with problems, and there's enough investors.
Celebrate every first Wednesday with new strategies.
So yeah, I'm gonna start there because I just recently someone is they're in some of the networking groups that I'm in, and they're like, I need to find something, and I'm like, you're sitting there. He goes, I don't know what market to work in. I said, you're sitting in the market. And I said, look, I'm gonna start looking there. When I call you, will you please leave my boots on the ground? And he goes, well, I don't know. And I said, hey, you're going to get paid for this. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll do that.
So, I mean, if you're going after Abilene, Texas, what are you going to do first?
Find buyers.
50. You've got a list of 54 buyers.
Find the buyers first.
Find the buyers, then find the leads.
Yep. So that's something that me and this other person are going to work on together. Yeah. So I'm going to show them, we can all learn together. I'm going to show them how to find buyers, which direction to go. I know that end of it. You go through the agents, you go through and you find the buyers yourselves, open corporates. I know the whole process on that end. And then you get 5 or 6 of them. Make those calls, whoever answers, who doesn't, I get good 5 people that picked up the phone.
Just as a pro tip, what I've learned, if you look up an LLC and that LLC is owned by an LLC, forget it. You're never going to find them. They don't want to be found.
No, those are the ones where I go to the agent and said, hey, I noticed this, and I go that route.
Yeah. And if you're in, and again, if the online skip tracing doesn't work and you're in that neighborhood, knock on the door, not the property, the door on either side. Neighbors always know who the owner is. Mm-hmm. Heck, my neighbor's out of town and he gave me a key to his house. I actually feed his cat every day. I know exactly where Shane is.
Yeah, nice.
He's up in Ohio killing deer.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Forgot that season still. It starts here November 1st in Texas.
Yeah, he got 2 days ago. He got a doe dressed out about 140 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. He's having a good year up there.
Always does. He's hunting on family land. They've owned it for like 100 years.
Yeah, it's still too warm out here. We get that problem every time.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, can you send me any of those buy boxes that you have? Any new updated buy boxes?
Sure.
Probably tomorrow. I know it's too late tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get one too, Mike?
Sure.
Send it all out to all of us because you update them all the time.
Please.
Hey, the guy here, David Albright from
But he's not rapping.
I'm sure whatever he is. Anyway, he's a pad split guy. He's trying to get houses that are 2,000 and above and 3 baths.
Okay.
So
that sounds like a pad split exit.
Yep.
Hey, has anybody else got any other stuff going on?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Is this Adrian?
Yeah. How you doing, Mike? How you guys doing?
Hi, Adrian.
Hey. So there's a property out in Globe. I wanted to kind of get your and I seen that you had called me and I didn't even notice, Mike. I just not noticed that we were on the Zoom call. So sorry, I didn't pay attention. But I wanted to comp it because it's a duplex, but it's kind of in a unique area in Globe. It went really low. Yeah.
Put the address.
Kind of now.
I actually, when I was in college at Arizona, University of Arizona, dated a girl from Globe.
Oh, you did? Okay. So you might know this area better than I do.
Adrian,
Hold
put
on,
the
I'm gonna
address in
put
the
it.
chat.
Okay. Let me do it
Yep.
real quick. But it's a duplex, and I just want the comp on it, just so I can kind of see if the buy number is where I need it to be. Me and I talked to Dennis about it a little bit earlier, and he had told me to actually reach out to you about it. So,
all right. So how much are they getting for rent each side?
they're not currently. We looked at the rent. There was two that was active in the city, and one was what, 700. She had told me 700 to 800, but then she'd said another one was 1,300. So roughly in between those two.
All right.
There was only two that were active.
So the duplex is vacant right now?
Yes.
All right.
I'm putting it in the chat right now. Hold on, you guys. My bad. Now it's right next to a baseball field, but it's staggered, so it's above it, kind of looking down.
Ooh, I wish I could find one of those.
Yeah, it's tricky. And she said, this is like a preschool, so it's not like it's a high school and kids are hitting it over the field and whatnot. So
it's a wood frame house.
Yeah.
PropWare says it's worth $163,000.
Yeah. Now I just looked at, I believe it's Realtor, and they say it's 250. So they're saying the area is going up specifically on that specific in that zip code.
Yeah, but
I spoke to
we don't buy on future value.
No, even if it's collateral. I mean, I look. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was just using it for other reasons. I'd used it previously for my other line of work, but
all
okay.
right. So what'd she say the market rents were?
So 700 and 1,300 roughly. Actually, we'll go by 525 and then 1,250.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I have a bad. Maybe I have a bad picture of this. Oh, look at that, man! Woo! Overlooking a baseball field. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, all right. So now I got some other pictures here, and it's got some nasty old green carpet.
Yeah, it's original condition. It's bad.
Okay, this isn't a duplex. This is a rehab.
Okay. She says it's upstairs, downstairs, two kitchens, 2 stoves.
I'm looking at if these pictures are accurate, it's a full-on rehab.
Okay. So what does that mean for me?
Where I would go on that one? Is this a listed property?
Yeah.
What's it listed for?
79.5.
I'd go in at 65.
She won't accept anything under 73. She just told me if it doesn't get the number, she's going to go in. The guy is actually a licensed contractor. He's going to do the plumbing, do a lot of it to cut costs. I don't know if I believe it. I just don't know the ARV on this. It's tricky because I don't.
She won't. She'll do. She said she'd close at 73, right?
Yeah, but they'll do seller carryback, which I'm kind of talking to her about. Which
hang on. Now it changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of my next point. Is like I actually think it might be a good idea. 2 year.
All right, brother, man. All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
You said. All right, so I'm going to go with PropWare at 163 because they're super conservative.
That's fine. Yeah.
You said she would accept $73,000.
Yeah.
That's at 44%.
Yeah. Go with it.
My advice to you is go to Propware or Privy and find buyers in that market.
Okay.
If you can lock it up at 73,000 and it's worth 163 all fixed up, you're at 44%. You would be able to move that at 50% all day long.
I think so too. And not only that, is I'm looking at the tax records and I see now it's not in the same little subsection. It's kind of on the other side of the highway, but it's close to the major area. They built roughly about 1,500 bigger square foot lot. It's pending right now at 235. I'm just now saying that I was paying attention to as we got on this phone call.
Right, so if Propware is low at 163,000, she will close at 73. That's 44%.
Okay. It's a great deal. I just wanted you to confirm it.
A great deal would be if it was 30%. This is a deal that's doable.
Yeah.
But
okay,
do you have any buyers in the Globe area?
That's the issue. And that's
my advice to you is spend half a day making phone calls to cash buyers. Do you have access to Privy?
No.
Well, then use Propwire. It's free.
Okay.
Yeah, just use mine, dude. Just use mine. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Dennis is in friggin' Arizona. Wow. He's your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Just use mine. I'll give you my passcode and stuff.
Okay. Right on, Dennis. I didn't want to add.
Dennis, isn't Globe like 35 minutes from Phoenix?
It's no. It's an hour.
All right.
Hour and 30 minutes.
I went to college there 30 years ago, so I forgot.
But
it's so good.
Andy from Keegley said that he has buyers.
He did, but he also told me not to invest into this. He said the price was too high. I don't know if he did a lot of research in this, to be honest.
73,000?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
And the seller said they would do carryback, so you don't even have to come up front with all the cash?
Well, the hell with it. We'll just go find a buyer tomorrow morning.
Whoa. Hold on, Mike. They do want a big down payment. They want $20K down.
That's nothing.
Right. Well, I'm thinking versus the amount, total amount. I know. You're right, but
I just don't see how you got the 163. I was looking for it forever. Like I was
estimated value on Propware 163.
Okay.
I haven't done any research whatsoever. I'm just going off of Propware, and I have found that their numbers are really conservative.
Really?
Okay.
So you're, right. I mean, let's say that it's 73,000. The conservative number is 163, and you can get 200 grand out of it, all fixed up.
Right.
Now, granted, the pictures I'm seeing, this is a full blown, down to the studs rehab.
70 grand.
Yeah, and then you make the deal even better with some seller financing. $20,000 down, and she does 50,000 carryback at 5% interest for 4 years. Boom. You're into this deal for 20 grand plus rehab costs.
Now the sellers won't do anything outside of 2 years. They have to be 2 years, and then it's a balloon at the end. Is that cool?
What do you mean a balloon at the end?
You have to pay the full amount at the end.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just a 2-year note. But yeah, right. I mean, but yeah, I would put that deal together, and I would find a buyer, and then I would find a list of buyers that are buying Globe, and then put the deal together. $20K down with a $50,000 2-year note. And I would probably, what you could do is go a zero interest loan, where you just say, all right, $50,000, I'll pay you every month, and take 50 and divide it by 360 with a balloon, or get interest only. There's like 12
That's kind of the idea. I mean, I'm thinking a buyer is just going to buy it just to take it down to rehab. I mean, instead of doing a hard money loan on something like this and pay 10%, he might as well just do this.
You can create, first off, at 73,000 on a conservative number, you're at 44%. Then you create more value by making it a creative financing deal.
Okay.
But the key is you got to know where your buyers are first.
That's the issue.
You just need a buyer.
Just look at the pretty houses on Privy. sold.
Okay. And there's a lot of pendings. That's the thing. I mean, this whole area is pending, pending, pending. So, I mean, there's a lot of action.
Give me
This
a
is just the
second.
last 3 months.
Give me a second.
Give it a good half a mile to a good mile out, Mike, when you look for the search.
I don't even do that. I just put in the zip code.
Oh, okay.
Make it easy.
There's a buyer of Snave Development LLC that was in Globe that did Skyline Drive.
Skyline Drive. Okay. Thank you, man.
I'll just send you all the stuff. Let me go find I'll just send you the password and username. Give me a second.
Right on, bro. Right on.
That's the only.
Hi, my name is Jerry Norton, and in the next few minutes,
Jerry Norton, sorry. That guy's everywhere. Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I was curious.
So I just went in, I put in that zip code in Zillow. I put in sold, and then I put in home type. I put in single family because a duplex is not considered multifamily. And then over in more, I put in sold in the last 12 months and renovated and got 6 results.
Okay.
I would call all 6 of those people.
Okay.
Because those are rehabbers that have bought, rehabbed, and sold a single family home in the last 12 months.
Okay. Right on. Good stuff. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm on it. I when I saw this pending, just kind of confirm my answer.
Yeah.
Just gonna make sure on it,
but yeah, you can find cash buyers on Zillow. Another thing is go to Craigslist.
Yeah.
Go to Craigslist
really
and just just type in again same thing, zip code or the city of Globe, and then renovate it.
Okay. Now, as far as rent rates, how does that factor into this? Because I mean, if I'm factoring in these rent rates, would that increase the value or anyway?
It would if this was not a rehab, but seeing the pictures that I'm looking at, this is a full-blown rehab.
Okay.
Right now, this property is unlivable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So I mean, it's got a pink bathroom.
You consider
that has a toilet and no sink.
Right.
Is that a medium or full gut?
I'm going with this is a full gut.
I would say full because she said upstairs they started.
It's got a boarded up window.
Yeah, it's a full gut.
It's a full gut.
You got to tear it down. Yeah, you got to tear it down.
It's a full gut, but that being said, buy it at 44% or get it under contract at 44% and then create some more value with some seller financing short term all day.
Okay.
20 grand down, that's nothing.
Okay. Right
50% seller financing, no payments or 0% interest for 2 years.
There you go.
You just make it super simple for a rehabber to get in there with the least amount of money possible.
I just sent you my password and username. Go ahead and use it.
Right on, bro.
Did you put that in the chat?
You want me to put my stuff in the chat too? Okay. I don't care.
Don't care. Well, it's only us. I mean, it's it was what, 4 of us here?
When we need it, we call him and ask him for it. Because I think only one person can use it at a time, right, Dennis? So when we need it, we can call and ask him to borrow it.
Right on, Dennis.
After what I went through in the last a month with that guy scamming me and calling the FBI, and he's still calling me every night, day, it was ridiculous. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care no more.
Who scammed you out of what?
Oh man, it was ridiculous. I don't know. I got on Facebook and I was looking at Wholesaler's website through some Facebook posts, and then some Asian gentleman just started to. One thing led to another, and I'm out some money. And I wasn't even trying to get into Bitcoin, so it was just ridiculous.
Oh,
I feel like an idiot.
Hey, the treasurer of Nigeria sent me an email. I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, there you go. I usually just swipe those away. I don't know what happened, but whatever. Yeah, you're gonna have Desmond Tutu call me.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, hey, we all do dumb shit. I'm not immune to that.
Yeah, I did some dumb shit.
All right, live and learn. But yeah, I mean, I gave up on Privy. I use PropWare. I just find it's easier to use.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, yeah, I think that could turn into something. There's money in junk, God forbid.
Yeah, I just didn't find the estimated repair value, but yeah, when you look on the right, it does say it 163.
Yeah, and what I do, just as a broad brush, before I spend hours and hours and hours trying to find out comps and all that stuff, I look up what PropWare says it's worth. I look up what Zillow says it's worth. I look up what Redfin says it's worth. Divide by 3. That's a pretty close number.
Yeah, and then just submit the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once things get more serious, then you do the deep dive.
Yeah. Okay. Because these agents, and some of these agents, they're just full of, excuse my French, full of shit. The way that they talk, and it's like, oh, I don't know what an ARV, I don't know what the ARV is. I'm like, what? How are you selling people's houses?
And again, it's not that they're full of shit. They've never been trained. Granted, I'm not the biggest fan of gurus, but at the end of the day, what the gurus teach us, that we've learned, is still light years ahead of what realtors know.
Can't believe that.
Now, don't get me wrong, 1 or 2% of the realtors are out there and they're sharp, but they're more likely investors with a real estate license than just agents.
Well, I have a lady here that's very sharp, does seller finance, likes Pace's stuff, and will not. She sends me stuff, and she probably sends Adrian stuff too. She puts will not wholesale. I'm like, oh, so why the hell do you send me it? You know
okay.
What I'm gonna do.
All right. Will not wholesale. How do we solve that problem?
We transactional fund that thing and double close it.
We double close it.
Yep.
Hey, just because you owned it for 26 minutes doesn't mean you didn't buy it.
Yep. And all her stuff is in BFE. And I'm like, what do you think? What am I going to do, girl? What's wrong with you? What the problem is. So, yeah, I get it. This was good. I needed this.
Now, my only concern for Globe is, but Globe, like I said, you thinking it's more like an hour to get to Globe from Phoenix?
Hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes, because it takes 3 hours to get to Show Low. So yeah.
Globe has a population of 7,000, but it's within 60 minutes of the biggest city in Arizona.
Yep.
Granted, there's only 2 cities in Arizona. Realistically, population-wise.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
75% of the population of Arizona lives in Phoenix. 95% of the population lives in Phoenix or Tucson.
Yep. Ain't nothing out here, dude.
Don't get me wrong. I love the place. I spent 4 years there. Mm-hmm. But that's the only concern with Globe is it's got a population of 7,000, but it's within driving distance to Phoenix.
And they still mine there.
A lot. Big copper mines up there.
Yes.
So, well, good. I'm glad we went through that little exercise.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be pretty good.
But again, yeah, the first thing I would do is I would go out and find 4 or 5 buyers that are looking to buy in Globe.
They're not that hard to
I haven't.
find.
Yeah, well, I haven't really focused on buyers, especially just specifically, but in Globe specifically. But it's fine. I can. I mean,
if you called up 2 or 3 guys tomorrow and 2 or 3 guys like, you find me a property at 50% of ARV, I'll buy it all day long. I'm a cash buyer.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
I've got 3 buyers and I can get this at 44% without any creative financing whatsoever.
Right.
dude, do that all day long.
Right.
Well,
and you go into the realtor with confidence because you know you got 3 buyers.
Right.
Even if you got 1.
I
Right.
bought my
Hold on, you guys.
first.
I got to take a phone call.
My first and only deal I bought in. Well, not my first and only, but I bought in Lakeside, and I wanted Keegley to get rid of it, dispo it. They said they would, and it fell through. I had 5 more days. I extended it out, and I was shopping it like I didn't know what to do. So I was just throwing it out there on Facebook and everybody, and they're like, "Well, why would we buy it on Facebook when we can see it on the Zillow for, 10,000 more? That's ridiculous." But I found a buyer within 2 hours. So,
like anything in life, man, do it like your life depends on it.
Yep.
You want to be successful? Do more than the next guy.
Yeah, you're just calling people. You're just calling people just like you call the sellers.
And by the way, if you've got 3 buyers, you can only sell that property to 1 and let the other 2 know that you sold it.
Yep.
Because God knows me, you, and everybody hates FOMO.
And they get it good. They're like, man, I need to be quicker. So the next time you call them, which should be like no more than 8 days later, you're going to get you're going to email you, text, and call you.
Yep. When they realize you're a player, boom.
I've gotten that call at midnight. Hey, is that deal still available? Do you got anything else?
Right.
Well, I think, not to be an ass, but I think Keegley locks it up a little too high when you call them for a price. I mean, the last 2 that I've had, I think they were too high. The numbers that I ran versus the numbers that they gave me to run, just too high.
So get your own buyers list.
Yeah. So
and keep the 50% that you would have to give away.
Yeah. It's just, it was probably because I don't have proof of concept behind my belt. That's all.
No, just do your business in reverse. Get buyers, get deals for buyers.
And we've got proof of concept sitting right there named Mike Grady.
The only difference between me and you guys is I just screw more shit up than you guys do.
Yeah, but I can bring you something and you'll say, oh, we can figure this one out. Oh, those are good numbers, just like you told Adrian right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the thing that they teach in Astro was to go direct to agent instead of you need to go direct to the buyer. And so that makes it a very hard learning curve when you're just like call because they give you a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 list or something like that, $30,000 list of buyer agents to call in every state. Him and Pace supposedly bought it. So,
but you ever notice they don't give out their list of buyers?
Hell no.
So where do you think the money is?
Buyers.
And Pace and Jamil and every other guru out there has spent many, many years developing a buyer's list.
Yep. Even this guy,
Helena Wu, you send something to Helena Wu, she's going to send out an email and she's going to get 12 responses from the guys that are on it.
Yep, she's not doing shit. She's just waiting on you.
But she did the work to develop relationships with serious buyers.
Yeah.
So go out and develop your own list.
Yep. That's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Well, I didn't know that at first.
This ain't rocket science. Trust me when I tell you. Pace and Jamil and all the other gurus did not invent this.
Well, that's not the problem that I see. The problem is first proof of concept. The second part is when I listen to like a you or a Jamil, yeah, I want to follow your directions. So I follow what you first say. But, the first thing said was call agents, not call buyers. Now it's call buyers.
Why?
Because they want, not you, I'm not saying you.
No.
But they want to reel you in a little bit.
No. Market changed. The market has changed.
Yeah.
The market is constantly changing, and we constantly are changing our strategy. So call realtors 2 years ago because getting a deal was hard. Once you got the deal, there was a gazillion buyers. Now getting deals is easy. Finding buyers is hard.
Yes.
It's not that the gurus were doing anything nefarious. It's just the strategy changed. And it was like Joe was talking about, people going out and getting educated by Google, and they're all fired up, but they don't look at when, they don't know to look at when that video was posted, because when that video was posted 3 or 4 years ago, it was relevant then.
Mm-hmm.
It's not now.
A lot of people don't show you the numbers. They don't show you, there's no scripts. There isn't anything. You just got to wing it. And there's where people get caught, you know. And Pace always says there's 5 ways to make money in real estate. And the 5th one is pair up with somebody that's done this, do it together and split the fee, or just learn from somebody. Go work for somebody, basically is what he's saying. Go work for somebody. And you get a lot of insight in that because you're watching it all happen right there in front of you.
How did Pace learn it?
He went to
he worked for Home Investors as a contractor.
Home Investors, and then Chris
Pace learned it. I've heard him say it. He worked for Home Investors. He's like, I'm doing all the work, and these guys are making big fat checks. I need to make big fat checks. Now he's not a contractor.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that I'm sure he doesn't do it because he's got teams now. But I'm sure he walks into a house with all his contracting experience. He knows exactly to the penny what it costs to rehab a house.
Oh, I bet you he does,
because he's got that experience in his head.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do it. He's developed, he's scaled his business, but he's still got that knowledge.
Yes, he does.
But the thing about it is that's where he learned it. And everybody's learned it from. Didn't you go out and buy Ron LeGrand's course for $800?
Yep.
Where I learned it, right there. Mm-hmm. Except I've got like 16 more courses that I paid for.
Yeah. And that's the new venture now is not just wholesaling. It's wholesaling and seller finance is subject to. Well, I don't know about subject to, but.
Well, the subject to is because there are no buyers.
Yeah.
There are no more retail buyers. And let me say that. And let me not say a blanket statement. The number of retail buyers that are out there are only buying perfect houses.
Yes.
Anybody going to a mortgage company is buying a perfect house. So if you got physical distress, emotional distress, financial distress, that the market is not going to cure that ill.
Yeah. And I think that I personally think that there's a lot of investors right now that are wholetailing houses that they have, because that's what I'm seeing here.
I had a guy who's in South Florida who has sent me deals that he was micro flipping. And I told him the first time, do not send me deals where you're micro flipping. And he snuck one by me and I sent it off to my hedge fund. He's like, oh yeah, we would have bought this house, but I got it from 2 other people an hour ago.
Yep.
I look like a jerk off. And I called him back. I said, sorry, dude, that's it. Don't send me no more deals. I told you once, do not micro flip to me. I don't want to look like a jerk. You're done.
But for me, and probably Joe, I hear that all the time when I call Keegley. Well, we got this one 3 days ago, 5 days ago. I've got this 10 times on my desk.
I hate micro flipping. And by the way, micro flipping is just another name for daisy chaining. Title companies hate daisy chains. Hedge funds hate daisy chains. And that's why go direct to seller.
Yep.
Go direct to seller or go direct to agent.
Yep.
The whole daisy chaining thing, that's a lazy person's way of trying to do this.
Yep. That's where I got that. That's where I got that title for being negative. That's exactly where I got it. There.
But the thing about it is, I don't want to ruin my reputation with my buyer at my hedge fund.
Yeah.
That's a tough part. That's a tough part. That's a tough part.
That's why I'm like, dude, don't send me any more deals. I'm just gonna. I see them come in from you. I'm just gonna delete them. I don't care how good the deal is.
And that's why
I told you once, you did it again.
That's why all the other ones are not calling me anymore, because I was sending them deals and they were daisy chained.
And see,
now they won't call. They won't answer my phone now.
So now you gotta rebuild your relationship. You got to go out and find some screaming deals that you have under contract personally.
God damn.
That's no big deal. We've all done it.
Well, I didn't know that that's what I was doing, man. I don't want to do that. That's why I was like, makes sense now. Makes sense why they won't answer my phone calls.
Joe Figueroa, when's the best time to buy real estate?
Yesterday and today.
There you go. You made a mistake yesterday, flush it down the toilet, move on. Can't change yesterday, you can change tomorrow.
Yeah. And then it doesn't work 100%, but you know how I sniffed those out? Someone chewed my head off last week because I called them and asked them for some numbers, and they said, "Is it under contract?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just wanted the numbers." He goes, "Find out if it's under contract. You know, ask for the contract. If they're daisy chaining, they're not going to have it. Oh, well, my partner has it, and he's okay, cool. When you get it,
with the song and the dance.
Yep.
You have the contract. Yep. Okay, great. They give you anything other than yep. Forget it.
So that's two things that I'm doing wrong. Giving the address out, finding daisy chained properties and asking buyers to buy them or what they would get it at. And then the third one was the other thing. Oh man, striking out right there.
But what did you learn?
I learned that just persevere and keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck what they say. Sorry.
You know, but the thing about it is, what cures mistakes? Contracts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think I was ready to give up when you guys lived through the disaster up in Chicago? I didn't give up. I just next, whatever. Who cares? Did I learn anything? Yeah. Now in my contract, it says seller is responsible for providing clear title within 5 days. If not, seller is responsible for all legal fees to clear the title. If seller doesn't provide clear title, affidavit of memorandum will be filed.
Do you have a contract that we can get a hold of?
Yeah,
because I use
my contract, but it's an ever evolving thing because I screw shit up.
Yeah, but I use Jamil's contract, and I know the disclosure claim is really big now, and that's what they keep harping on. And I'm like, listen, there's just several options that I'm going to try to dispose of this house. I'm not saying that I'm not a wholesaler or an investor. I'm saying that I'm an investor.
Right here.
But they always want to say, well, read the disclosure. I'm like, if I put and two, that should disclose enough, right?
Hang on.
Oh, man.
You all right?
Live and learn.
You all right there, big fella?
Live and learn. Just live and learn. Now I understand what the
All
hell.
right, here it is.
Some agreements.
My contract, which is going to get sent out after I'm done with the Zoom call. Buyer is a real estate investor and intends to make a profit either by building, developing, renting, flipping, reselling, assigning, or leasing. The buyer understands and assumes the risks associated with this purchase.
I'm down with that.
I didn't know. Well, you signed the contract. Did you not read the contract, sir?
Yeah.
That's all the disclosure you need. Is it buried at the, on page 2 in section 18 in the 4th paragraph in, 12-point font? Yes. But it's clearly stated.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
And I know you've already downloaded my contract. I see the emails. So you've got this.
I gotta find it with the rest of the. Yeah. I got a hoarder full of paperwork on my computer. I'm sure it's gonna crash one of these days.
By the way, the paragraph above that. Seller invariably instructs the escrow company to return to the deposit to the buyer, or to any entity designated by the buyer to receive the deposit. It's clearly stated. Seller cannot hold up my EMD. Just like with this new buyer. Are you okay with a $5,000 non-refundable EMD? Yes, I am. Okay. You just verbally agreed to it. When you get the contract, the assignment contract will say that in the first line. That was why I was so irritated with that law firm of that Chicago deal, is they just completely ignored verbal confirmation and written confirmation in the contract. That's why I hate attorneys.
I think I have it in one of my contracts where it says no verbal. Everything has to be written.
Well, yeah. But
that's just one of my contracts for one of the things that I do.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you go through multiple layers of this stuff.
Yes, you do. And that's a great outline. You did. I like the way you put it in there, and it's right there.
Yeah.
Plain as day.
Yeah, plain as day. Hey.
So we appreciate that in advance, Mike, for you sending out your contract.
Yeah. And again, my contract is a culmination of, I got it from probably Ron LeGrand, but like my mother's former husband, who's been a real estate auctioneer at the highest level in America. He's like one of the top 10 real estate auctioneers in the whole friggin' country. His contract evolved over time to fix the problems that he ran into in his business. You run into a problem, you amend your contract so you don't make the same mistake twice. Mistakes are going to happen. Market's going to change. Your contract just gets better and better from the mistakes you make. Just don't make them twice.
Yeah, I'm looking right now on Jamil's to see where the disclosure is. I don't see the disclosure. Disclosures of spuds, escrow, warranties, warranty closing, inspection period, buyer's approval and acceptance. Is that what it is?
Well, instead of spending time reading it, why don't you read it after we're done?
Yeah, I will.
Because we've now been on this for 2.5 hours.
All right. Sorry. It was good. It was good, man. I don't want to mess
it up. I wanted to pick you up, man. I just want to let you know the only difference between me and you is I have made a shit ton more mistakes than you have.
Yeah. Hey, and Dennis, how about this, man? Let's put it on the contract. I put it in there. I'm in the contract. Let's put it on the calendar right now for not tomorrow or Wednesday, but the week after Thanksgiving. Let's you and me get on the phone, get on a Zoom together, and let's call some buyers.
That's fine. What day you want to do it?
I'd like to do it Monday so we can have something to talk about to Mike on Monday's Zoom.
Monday night. Boom.
Just check. Yep. Let me check. Give me 1 second, please. I'm just checking the schedule real quick. Come on. All right, I can do it after 11:30 my time, which you're an hour difference now in Texas time.
So I'm putting you in my calendar right now.
You're an hour ahead of me, right?
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead.
I love you guys taking action.
All right.
So 12 your time, it's going to be 1 my time.
Yep.
There it is.
Schedule. Joe Figueroa. What does Figueroa mean?
I don't know. I hadn't looked it up.
We live behind Figueroa.
It's Spanish for a dude with lots of money.
Yeah.
Then I need to hang out with you.
I agree. I think that's what it means. Spanish for dude with lots of money. Yeah. And pleasant personality. That's what it is.
Yep. All right, it's done. We're in there.
You guys remember the golfer Chichi Rodriguez?
Of course I do.
Yeah. He actually said that when he was a caddy, he was a poor Mexican, but when he got on a PGA tour, he was a conquistador or some damn thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So thanks a lot, guys. Great meeting.
Yeah,
appreciate everything, and I'm gonna sign off right now. Yep. But hey, next week, Dennis and I, we're gonna have some stories to share.
Awesome.
Well, you guys save the chat if you need something.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
Oh yeah,
great meeting, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Eat too much and gain weight.
All right.
Right on. Appreciate everything,
Bye,
you guys.
Bye bye.
Have a good night. Thanksgiving.
Thanks.